Today's guest is the USA Today bestselling author of The Girl with Stars in Her Eyes, Girls with Bad Reputations, Love on the Byline, and many more. She's also a heated rivalry fan who has helped bring the community together through panels, trivia nights, and reheats. We're so happy to welcome Xio Axelrod to the pod.
Oh,
Welcome,
thank you.
welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here.
We're excited to have you.
We're excited to have you. So, my first question is one we like to ask everyone. It is, how were you first introduced to heated rivalry? Were you a book reader or a show watcher first?
Right. So I was thinking about this because it was kind of weird. I read Game Changers when it came out in 2018, I think it was. And then, like, because I read so much and I get like a lot of arcs and I get like all kinds of stuff coming at me, I never remember like what's in a series or what order they're in and stuff. So I think I read Game Changers when it came out. And then and like years went by and I think I read
Yeah.
Role Model or something. And I was like, wait, this sounds somewhat familiar. Did I read this before? Because, and then it wasn't until like 2023, a friend of mine was like, have you read Heated Rivalry? It's right up your alley. And I was like, I don't think so. And then, I tried reading it. I couldn't get into it at first because I was like distracted. And then finally I went back to it and I was like, oh man, yes, catnip. This is totally for me, and fell in love with it. And then when we found out that so I've been mutuals with Rachel for I don't even know how long. I think we did an event together years ago. And anytime, even if you don't know an author like really well, when anything happens good for anyone, we all celebrate each other. So it was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it got optioned, and things get optioned and then necessarily get produced. And so we were like, yay for the option. Fingers crossed that something happens with it. And with this, it happened so fast. We were like, oh my gosh, like it was crazy. So yeah, so I read the book, listened to the audio, read the book again, and then just prepared myself for, well, honestly, disappointment because we don't always get the best
Yeah.
adaptations. But just wanted to celebrate her and the fact that it was being made at all. So yeah, I was an early adopter, as they say.
Yeah, I think we're so used to romance book adaptations being a little bit disappointing. So having one that is like so close to the book has been
Yeah.
amazing. Was there a moment in the show where it went from this is good to this is something special for you?
I think it was really early. I think actually the teaser was when I was first like, oh, this is actually going to be good. I don't think I realized how good until the bathroom scene in Vegas, which lives rent free in my head. Like I think about that
Yeah.
scene like 5 times a day.
How could you not? Yeah.
It was just such a moment. There's so much stillness that Jacob uses in the show, like no music, no effects or anything. It's just like two people in a moment and we're flies on the wall. And that was such a startling moment. Yeah. So I was, oh, okay, okay, okay. You know,
Yeah. I think the way that Jacob has used music in the show has been so interesting. Has Heated Rivalry changed the way you think about love or relationships at all? Because you're a romance author, but has the show or this book specifically changed the way that you think about it?
I was thinking about that. Not necessarily in the real world,
Mm-hmm.
although I hope that certain segments of our population look at this or hear about it or somehow it lands in their brain through osmosis or something,
Yeah.
that you can be tender and strong and not be an asshole. But I think in terms of the way romance is portrayed on screen, I think that changed at least my thought of like what we were capable of doing or what a lot of directors, showrunners tend to dumb things down when it comes to the romance. And I think that Jacob and others like him are like, look, no, you can treat this with the same reverence that you do any other human interaction, you know? So I think for me, that's the change.
To have something where this is a very like you need to focus and watch the show, otherwise you're going to miss like key details of their relationship going forward.
Yeah. Yeah. The attention to detail is insane. And I think that, we all live on our phones. Like literally, I was just looking at my phone before we logged on. And I'm like, man, I must spend a lot of time, especially since November, to be
Yeah.
honest, on Threads. Because I think before November, I didn't really do much online on social media other than like talk about events I'm doing or whatever. But I think that we want to feel connected, and I think social media gives us that false feeling of connection.
Yeah.
If we're on there, we can't miss anything. We don't want to miss anything. And this show is like, life exists outside of your phone. So yeah, I hope that other shows go back to this model where it's like appointment TV. I think not being able to binge the entire thing, as much as I love binging it now, like not being able to binge it sort of built up that anticipation to the next episode. I felt bad for the UK people who saw it all at once. It's like, I think it was the UK who got it like all at once. And I was like, oh man,
Yeah,
you don't get
we
to,
did.
you're heartbroken at the end of every episode.
Right.
What?
Yeah, I think the community that we got because it was a weekly release made it so much better. Like the watching experience was so much better. Having all of us like create theories or like cry during that like week break. I think that just brought everyone together even more than if we were just binging and talking about it afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this show has resonated with so many people and it feels so personal to a lot of people, even if they've never lived anything like it. Do you have an opinion on why you think that is?
Why this show has like infiltrated everyone's hearts and minds?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's taken over our lives.
Seriously, I've never seen anything like it. I think part of it is, there's a few things. I think one is the state of the world that we're living in, and everyone's looking for some sort of like, relief or oasis to park in for a while. And the show gives you that. But also I think it shows yearning. It shows like connection. And we just collectively went through a period where people were separated from each other for, almost 2 years. And then, now we're in this mess. And so I think that people are feeling disconnected and they're like, oh man, I remember that feeling of meeting someone and not being able to stay away from them or thinking about them all the time and not having to worry about whether I could like put food on the table and, fill my car with gas. It's like, here's like a romance, like capital R romance. And I think that's what people are falling in love with. And just also like the care that like we said before, the care with which the show was made, from top to bottom. It's like, there's so much love in the show. Forget what's going on screen. There's so much love in the cast and crew that you can feel it. And I think we all miss that.
Yeah. And that leads perfectly into my question of watching an adaptation stay this close to the source material. And I know you were at the BookCon panel and kind of just seeing the respect between Rachel and Jacob too. What has that been like, viewing that from like an author perspective, seeing that relationship and, respect can exist and be so strong? Because we don't see that all the time in adaptations. Yeah.
Yeah, really. I mean, Rachel's living the dream, man, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, this is like what we all, at least, I can't speak for everyone, obviously. Maybe somebody likes horrible relationships in like show running. But as an author, this is what you want. You want respect. You want a voice, in the project. Like, you don't always get, with optioning, I think, just to give you like a little bit of background on, not that I have a lot of experience, but like when something gets optioned, someone says, hey, I'm really interested in maybe doing something with this. And you say yes. And then they try to sell that to, whoever. And then 99% of the time, that's where it stops, unfortunately. So when you get to that next step where someone's like, oh, I'm going to write a script or I'm going to whatever, do a pilot, whatever it is, those next steps are. And you're like, great. And there's like all of these, these red lights that you come and then get a green light and then you go. Things can happen along the way, like titles change, characters change. I know there's one book from a friend of mine that wrote that they got optioned and they moved the location, they changed the story. So it was almost unrecognizable, but it was like, but you got your story made. So you're happy, but at the same time, you're like, oh, I wish they could have told the story that I actually wrote, so it's kind of a catch-22. But I think with Rachel and Jacob and this series, they were all on the same page, like you want to be able to be like, yeah, I love what you wrote. I don't want to change it. I want to enhance it or whatever. I want to make, adapt it for television, but I'm not changing your story. And that's the dream. So yeah, we all want that now. Now we have such high standards. So anybody's coming at us now, it's like, but are you Jacob Tierney? Have you seen Heated Rivalry?
Yeah, hopefully that is a trend that moves forward. You grew up in the music industry and music is really, important part of the show, which to Danielle's point, if you're on your phone or you're not really connecting the dots between what the music is saying and the story at certain points. So, what is your favorite music moment in the show, and how do you think Peter, and Jacob use music to further the plot and story?
My favorite music moment. I have two that I think about quite often. One is their first time, well, I guess the only time that they really show outside of a montage at Shane's apartment. I think it's You, the song is called, that Peter wrote. It's such a tender scene. And I was watching a little bit of the interview that they did the other day where he was talking about how he had this like techno music playing under, and then he saw the rushes and he was like, oh, this is not right.
Not the
You know,
vibe,
this
yeah.
is actually, yeah. So he's like, let me change this. Can you imagine that scene with like techno music? Yeah. Anyway, and so that, you know, listening to, because that's one of the few songs that he wrote that has actually like words, you know,
Mhm.
that has something in it. So I was like, this is, they may not know, like, as characters, they may not know what's happening, but we do because of what's playing underneath the scene. And then the other one of my favorite songs of all time is My Moon, My Man. And I love that entire montage. It's my favorite montage ever. It's just such great storytelling. And to use that particular song, I was like, yeah, Jacob, I see you, you know?
It's so good. It's so good. The cuts,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. I'm addicted to reactors. I've watched like every reaction on YouTube. And whenever they get to the on ice, on the couch cuts,
Yep.
those two cuts,
Oh,
everyone just goes like, oh, like, oh. Every single one. Like, it's so funny. But yeah.
I have to watch more of those because, you know, we always are like, oh, I wish I could watch it again for the first time. We don't have that ability. So it's
Yeah.
really nice to watch
Yeah.
other
So
people
watching
watch
someone
it.
else watch it, yeah. I'm addicted to it,
Do
honestly.
you have a favorite reaction channel?
Oh, man, there's so many. One of my favorites is I think Katie O'Shaughnessy or Katie Shaughnessy. She's an Irish lass drummer. She's fun to watch. I've been watching reactors for years. So I have like ones that I'm like, I love this show. Let me see if they've watched it, kind of thing. And she's one of them. Yeah.
Have you been in a fandom at this level like before? People have talked about it being some people's first fandom, other
Yeah.
people are fandom
Yeah.
veterans. Kind of where do you fall on that scale?
It is like a first fandom for a lot of people, isn't it? And it
Yeah.
shows.
It
mhm.
shows, yeah.
Yeah.
It really shows. I'm like, oh, lamb. Oh. My first fandom was Buffy.
Oh, okay.
I actually started writing as a Buffy fanfic author. That's how I got started. But I've only been in a few fandoms at this level. That was the first one. The only other one I've been through, well, I don't count at the Anne Rice fandom because I've been there since I was 13. I've been an Anne Rice girly since I was 13, but like SKAM was my big fandom,
So good.
which, especially coming to this show and this series, the one thing that Jacob does really well with the series is reference other queer media. And there are so many SKAM references in the show that I'm just like, you know, just like kicking my feet. And I went online like immediately after the first or second episode to see if any of the other SKAM people that I know were like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? You know, kind of thing. And when they entered the fandom with their edits and their art, I was like, okay, this is like, now we're getting here. Yeah. But yeah, that was I wrote an entire season of SKAM, 10 episodes, script format when the show ended, the
Oh
original
my
show,
god.
when it ended.
Where can we read this? Is this
It's still
available?
on AO3. Yeah.
Okay, running there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
amazing.
wrote Evan's season because I was writing and some of my readers were like, oh my gosh, the show is ending. Will you write Evan's season for him? And I was like, I guess. So I literally took like 9 months and wrote this
That's
crazy
incredible.
thing.
That's dedication.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
so excited
I'm
about
not going
this.
to do it for either rivalry.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it because I don't need to. But like, yeah. Yeah, that was a one and done. But yeah.
That was a great fandom. And I mean, one of the more obvious, like, I guess moments that remind me of SKAM is the club scene
Yeah.
relating to the kitchen scene.
Yeah. And the way that Julie Ondem used music in the show
Mm-hmm.
to continue the story was something that I hadn't seen before. It was one of the reasons I fell in love with the show because I was an early adopter on that one too. I started at season 1 and then season 3 came around and it hit Tumblr and I was like, whoa, other people are watching it now, you know, but yeah. But yeah, the music, using the music to continue the storytelling, us, watching Jacob do that here was like, because I haven't even seen that done as much since then.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that's incredible. But yeah, the club scene, there's all these little things that have carried from SKAM through like Young Royals, which I know was a reference for him, through other shows, and now it's sort of trickled down effect. He pulls from Moonlight, he pulls from Brokeback Mountain. Like
Yeah.
there are so many references in queer media that I absolutely love.
Yeah. This story is so beautiful and so unapologetic. And I think in terms of romance, it follows a different narrative than we see of like the typical slow burn kiss,
Yeah.
happily ever
Yeah.
after. So
It's an emotional slow burn.
it's an emotional, physical fast burn, emotional slow burn. What was that
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
to see? Because I feel like a lot of times in adaptations, it's the former and less of this kind of storytelling.
Yeah. I think as a romance writer and reader, I didn't read romance before I started writing it. That's a whole different story. But I think that we do the insta lust a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and then feelings can come in, like you see it with fake dating or fake relationship, tropes and things like that. I've only written like one, I think, or two insta lust books. I'm a fan of the slow burn. I like the what you call UST in fandom, unresolved sexual tension. Like I love
Yes.
making them yearn and pine and
Yeah.
wait for it. I'm sorry, readers. But I think that seeing that on screen, I think it confused people who were not in the queer community, or people just, I don't even know about the queer community, but just like in general, people were confused about why they had such a physical connection and couldn't translate that into the emotions. And I don't know if it was like people forgot how old they were, or what they did for
Right.
a living, or how
Right.
often they saw each
Right.
other. I mean, there were so many factors there, but it was like there was clearly this connection and they couldn't stay away from each other. They couldn't stop thinking about each other. But that takes a while to develop, that emotional thing, if you're not in proximity, if you're not talking, you know. So watching that play out on screen and watching them try to deny what was happening was just so juicy. I mean, how do you not fall for that? Like, how do you not? This is so addictive.
I know. And just to see the time jumps, you're like, it's been how long?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
They
just
really
seeing
could
them.
not stop thinking about
Yeah.
it.
Which I
Yeah.
love. I love that Jacob was like, yeah, the note is you're obsessed with each other and can't stop thinking about each other. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
Give me all
Yeah.
of that.
That's what we want. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can see that spark right away,
Yeah, definitely. So part of being in this fandom, you have hosted a lot of amazing community events. You've been on a panel, you've hosted trivia and reheats. What has been your favorite moment of community that the fandom has brought you?
Ooh. Um, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I've done different kinds of things. The very first thing I did was a full reheat. Like I wanted to watch it on a big screen. So I rented a theater.
That's incredible.
Like an actual theater, not a movie theater, an
That's
actual
amazing.
theater. And I invited some local loons here in Philly and was like, can somebody come watch this with me? So I'm not by myself. And like 45 people showed up. And we ate, we ate snacks and drank ginger ale. And one person brought Russian candy. She was from the region, and she brought Russian candy and was like correcting the Russian in, in this show. Like
Yeah.
one thing she said, she's like, they're not swearing as much as it says in the captions. Like that's not what that says, that kind
Funny.
of. I did a panel at the library, which was probably my favorite event that I've done so far. I mean, I did like a panel on a cruise ship and was, but this library panel, I know I'm deep in it. Uh, but the panel at the library was interesting because one of the things that kind of bugs me about the community is there are pockets that can be exclusionary to the queer community itself, which is bonkers to me. There was the one guy, I think in Salt Lake City, who was asked to leave a reheat
Yeah.
because the women there were like, he's making us uncomfortable, and he had just walked in the door and he was like, okay. So having this library event, we had like 180 people there, and it was still like 90%, female presenting people, but there was one couple, like an older male couple sitting in the front row, and they had their shirts on, they were holding their books, and they just were like so happy to be there. And he when we did questions, he said, I just wanted to thank you for creating this space where we feel like we're included in the community that's reflected on the screen, kind of
Right.
thing. And it was like, oh my God, my heart. You know what I mean? So that moment was like, yeah, I want everyone to feel welcome here who is an ally, who is in the community. I don't want any nonsense because it's so, I don't understand how you can watch this show and treat people that way. Like, I don't, like, people are missing the message. They get lost in the spice or whatever it is. And it's like, you're missing, it's not even an underlying message. It's like the overt message of the show is that love is love and people belong here and but anyway, get off my
Yeah.
soapbox. But yeah.
No, I hear you. I hear
But
you.
that was
We
the
have this
moment.
conversation a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the moment.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. And then, I mean, you kind of talked about this, but have you been surprised by how people are showing up to these events? I'm not sure if you had any like Buffy events that you went to or attended, but is there a different way that you feel like Heated Rivalry fandom or fans show up um to these events that you think is special or unique?
Yeah. So I'm a fandom person. I love fandom. I created a book series so that I could create my own fandom um, for my books. But for the Buffy fandom, I created an event in Philly that was Buffy centered, and we used to get like 30 people there every year. We'd sit around and talk about episodes and do presentations and stuff. For SKAM, I held a SKAM event in Philly, and a few people flew in from across the country, and we sent a huge package over to Norway for some of the actors there, like gifts and stuff like that. Like, I'd like community in fandom. I think fandom is community, and it can be really a sort of a healing space and a space for people to feel seen. So holding Heated Rivalry events, the response is just it's like proportionally much bigger.
Yeah.
We did the trivia night, and I think the host bar where we had at the pub, I remember her saying, I was like, yeah, how many seats can you fill? And she's like, we have like 70. And I was like, cool. So we'll do the ticketed thing. It's free, but like have people reserve their tickets. And then once they fill up, we can do a wait list or whatever. And she's like, I'll just tell people they can still come. And I was like, no, because they will line up around the block. The place was absolutely packed. Like, we took over the entire pub. And I was like, yeah, Heated Rivalry fans are different. They're on a different level. And I don't know if it's because of the moment that we're in, where social media allows people to form community online and like share their passions and locate each other in I'm in the same city, let's get together. And so like you're seeing a lot of that with this, it reminds me of like the K-pop fandom or like music fandoms where people get together and go to shows and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. It's very cool.
Yeah, I
Agreed.
love that.
Speaking of events and hosting, you teased recently on your socials that you're hosting another event, I think in June. Can you give
Yeah.
us anything about what to expect, us and the listeners?
Yeah, because this is going to air after I make the announcement, so I can talk all about it.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Although we're still working out the details. Yeah, we're still working out the details. I made a joke after the reheat in February that I wanted to do a Loon con. And I was like, it's pie in the sky. We get the actors here, which I can't afford to do that. But I was like, at least a place where like readers and show watchers can come together and like celebrate the show and celebrate each other. And I was looking for a location, and somebody reached out and they were like, hey, I'm a Loon. I manage this space in Philly. Would you want to use that? So we're doing it at this place called Liberty. And it is basically, we're not doing a full reheat. We'll probably have like a couple of episodes playing, but there's going to be like bedazzling of books and like bracelet making and a photo booth and like trivia and a costume contest and like all kinds of like just Heated Rivalry related activities that people can get together and do just to bring the community together. And it's about the halfway point anniversary, like the 6-month anniversary, I guess, of the show. So it's like a summer reheat. But yeah, it's just an opportunity for people to come together and celebrate. And it's during Pride Month. It's on June 7th. So it's during Pride. And I think Philly Pride is that day. So it's going to be like a big day of celebration. Yeah.
That
So I'm
sounds
excited
so
for that.
fun.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I'm like, how
yeah.
can we make our way to Philly to
I
go to
know. I
this?
was
Yeah,
just
come to
thinking
Philly.
that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get a couple of things to happen, but I don't want to like announce it just in case it doesn't to get people's hopes up. But trying to pull some strings, but we'll see. But yeah, at the very not least, but the core of it is this community, bringing the community together because that's what I'm about.
Mhm. Love it. You've also recently teased that you're expanding your hockey romance of Beautician. What can readers maybe expect out of that? Anything you can give us?
Yeah, the Beautician. It was originally a short story that I'd written. I do an anthology for Pride every year called Love Is All. And I don't remember which volume. This year is volume 9. It may have been volume like 4 or 5 where I wrote this story about these two hockey players. And because I had written a hockey romance, it was a MF hockey romance for another anthology. And I'm a huge hockey fan. I'm a big Flyers fan. But poor boys. But but I wanted, when Heated Rivalry took off, I made a joke online like, oh, maybe I should, re-release my hockey romance. And people were like, yeah, do that. I was like, oh,
Please.
okay, I guess I'll do that. Yeah. So been tinkering with it and yeah, hoping to get it out before June. I wanted to get it out before I go up to Toronto because I'm doing an event up in Toronto, probably the same time this airs, or I'll just be getting back. And I'm going on the Heated Rivalry tour while I'm up there. So
Amazing.
so
yeah,
fun.
I'm excited. Yeah.
What filming location are you most excited to see?
The tunnel.
Yeah.
I just really want to go to the tunnel.
Yeah.
I know that people have been writing on the wall there, and I just want to go like read all the messages and stand there and confess my love to my husband. I don't know.
He's like, why are you calling me from a tunnel?
Yeah. He's like he can't get him to watch the show. I have to get him to watch the show, but he's a sci-fi guy. But yeah.
I feel like it's crazy. They get abducted by aliens. Well, it's in space, according to Rachel. So
Yeah, right.
Right,
The
next
next
season.
season's gonna be in space.
That's how you get them. After the success of Heated Rivalry, what do you, as an author, hope to see more of in romance going forward?
I feel like romance. We call romance the literature of hope because we put our characters through hell. And the readers know that we do this, but they also know that at the end of it, they're going to land in a space of joy, whatever happy looks like for them. So I don't think romance is the thing that's being affected in terms of like books and genre. I think it's how it's portrayed on the screen, how people receive it. There are a lot of people that came to the show who were not book readers, who had never read a romance. And one of the things I learned watching the reactions is that a lot of people expect it to end badly. Like they're expecting a car crash, or they thought the hit on Shane was going to be career ending, or he wouldn't be able to walk again or something. Like they were just expecting some sort of like tragedy or life altering thing. And it's like, well, you haven't read a romance, have you? Like you don't know that we're going to catch you in a pillow. It's going to be okay.
yeah.
So I think that the way that the rest of the world outside of the romance community perceive romance, or think about romance and the depth of the stories that we tell and the way that we explore humanity, I think that might change a little. I hope that it changes a lot because we are the most maligned genre and oddly enough, the most, profitable one in publishing. It's so bizarre, but it is what it is. But hopefully that will change. That's what I want to see change.
We're all in agreement there. That's all I have for questions, unless Danielle or Emily have anything else that they want to
I guess
ask you.
Yeah, I just have a quick question because I know on Threads we pick apart all the micro moments. There's things that I feel like people are catching every day and like adding to the lore. What is your favorite micro moment that you've either catched on a reheat or that someone on Threads or any other social media has pointed out?
Wow. I think one of the micro moments that I caught originally and didn't realize that no one else had caught until I mentioned it on Threads a month or two ago was in the locker room when they're having the 1410 conversation and they agree, like, I might knock, and then Ilya turns away, and Shane is sitting there like, what did I just agree to? And then in the background, you hear Ilya's towel hit the floor, and Shane does like a quick look and then turns away. It's very fast. It's very, very
I've
fast.
not caught that.
But you hear
I've
this,
not.
this
None of
wet
us have
towel hit
caught
the
that.
floor.
No.
Yeah.
This is news to
Yeah,
us.
yeah. I mentioned it like a month or two ago on Threads, and then I created this like firestorm of like, oh my gosh, I
Oh,
have
I
to go back
love
and watch
that.
that moment again. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
We're all gonna
Yeah.
go rewatch now.
There's
Yeah,
always
now we
something
gotta
to
sign
catch.
off.
Always.
There's always something.
Oh no, have to reheat. Oh well.
Bummer. Yeah.
Darn.
Should we do a little speed round, this or that
Yeah.
game? Okay, like we said, low stakes. Just say whatever speaks to you. We'll say no right or wrong answers. Ginger ale or Blue Moon over Brooklyn smoothie?
How watery is this smoothie?
Kip is
I'm
making
gonna
it.
go with the ginger. Yeah,
Kip
I'm gonna
is
go with the
making
ginger ale.
it. Safe bet. Ilya's tuna melt or Shane's burgers?
Burgers, because I really don't like tuna melts. I'm sorry.
So polarizing.
Those burgers
the
look
tuna
really
melt,
good.
I know.
The burgers,
Yeah.
and there's plenty to share, as we know. So,
There's plenty to share.
Shane's Loon call or Ilya's gym woo?
Fufu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
Hang out with Hayden or hang out with Yuna?
Man. I think I would Ilya Hayden. I would be so Ilya to Hayden. Because
He
he's
deserves it.
he's just so easy to wind up. He's
Yeah.
so easy to wind
Yeah.
up. Yuna would be fun to hang out with, though. I have a feeling that she's got a wild streak that, there's something about her. I feel like she
Mhm.
was a party girl back in the day.
Mm-hmm. A reformed party girl.
I could see that.
Yeah. 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 That's why David
Um,
fell for her, because he was like, oh my God, this tornado of a person. Yeah. Headcanon, sorry.
Yeah. Wow. I'm like, now I want to read about their story.
Yeah.
I know. Maybe I will be writing some fic.
Okay,
Who knows?
perfect.
Great. I would love to read that. Ilya's okay or Shane's really?
Man, I just love okay. I say it all the time.
Me
Okay.
It's
too.
a really good vocal stim. Stairwell kiss or your boyfriend's here kiss?
Killing me. Oh man, I think the stairwell kiss. It's such a moment. I mean, it's such a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Those two idiots.
So tender. Those two dummies.
We're not in love. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Could not be more obvious that you guys are in love with each other.
Seriously.
Penthouse 1 or room 1410?
Just because Penthouse 1 is so devastating, I'm going to go with 1410, where we were still like innocent and didn't know the pain yet.
Right.
Yeah.
The Kingfisher bar or straw plus berry?
Kingfisher, come on.
This
Yeah.
is everyone's reaction to this
Yeah.
question. why
Yeah.
would you
Straw
pick
plus berry
strawberry?
it's cute and yeah, but Kingfisher.
Kingfisher.
I'm not sure if that would survive in New York with the amount of people that come in there, but
Yeah.
Party with Svetlana or get dinner with Elena?
Svetlana. Sveta's my girl.
We
Yeah.
love her.
Yeah.
We love Elena too, but yeah.
yeah, Yuna
Yeah,
can
love
come.
Elena, love Maria. The women are
Love them all. Yeah.
top notch.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
women of Heated Rivalry are excellent. All the things she said or I'll believe in anything.
All the things she said. Yeah. It's on my
Mhm.
permanent playlist, especially the remix.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
So good.
Like going back to that SKAM moment where they switched because they used Call Your Girlfriend and then they switched to the
gosh,
remix of Call Your
yes.
Girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
When that happened in episode 4, I was like, oh, somebody watched SKAM.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sorry.
Somebody watched Scum and
SKAM.
it shows.
And it shows.
Canada fleece or banana socks?
I have the banana socks, actually.
Cute.
Cute.
Yeah, it was the first thing I bought from the official merch. Well, actually, it's the only thing that was in stock. I was like,
Right.
I want that.
You're like, I'll take those.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my Boston Raiders tee to show up. I wanted to have it for Toronto, but we'll see. So I guess I'll get the fleece since I already have the socks.
Perfect. Okay, sunset scene or sunrise scene?
Well, the sunrise.
Mhm.
The sunrise makes me cry because of the care that Ilya gets finally. Blanket. And
Yeah.
He looks so surprised, and I think that's like the body acting of both of them. But the body acting of Connor in that scene, you can't even see his face, but he's so surprised that when Shane puts the blanket around him, like oh, this is for me. Anyway, sorry, I'm elaborating. These are supposed to be fast, Xio.
No, you can
No,
elaborate.
Yes, sunrise.
No, we love it.
We
Sunrise.
can yap.
Sunrise, short answer,
Sunrise.
but we love a yap. Okay, last
Okay.
one, and kind of a fun one. Ilya's Hawaiian shirt or his leopard print shirt?
Oh man, I would actually go for the sleeveless Adidas Y3 that he
Oh.
wears in episode
Big
6.
fan. I'm a big fan of that also.
Yeah, my 90% of my wardrobe is black, so I would probably go for that. But if I had to choose between the two, I actually like the Hawaiian shirt because it's so soft of him to wear that in that, yeah. So I'll go there.
Hawaiian shirt, final answer. Okay, that's it for this or that.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here and for answering our silly this or that questions, and also just like
No.
sharing your love with the show and like creating that inclusive community that I think a lot of times it's buried on social media, or sometimes it's a little misaligned. So yeah, we're so appreciative of you.
Oh, thank you. No, it's been really heartwarming being a part of the community and being able to do things like being in the position to pull people together. I'm an author, I'm a singer, and I try to use any of my mediums to do that. So this was unexpected joy to be accepted by the community and welcomed like this, and then having people show up at things. I'm always surprised when people show up at anything that I host. So, thank you to the other loons for making me Philly's #1 loon, apparently. Like, that was something that they told me, and I started laughing. I was like, wow, okay, I'll take it, though. I'll take it.
That's your official title from now on.
Yeah.
It is I put it on my bio.
I was like, put in your bio if it's not there.
Totally.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.